and welcome to lesson 2 for Use Your Voice. Hopefully we're up to date with all the tasks that I set you for the last lesson, that you've made a document, that you've found a partner, and that you've also let your teacher know who you're working with so we can keep a track of that. So lesson 2 today, just to remind you what you did do last lesson is that you looked at peer-related issues, you explain why you've chosen a subject, and you've taken a look at that. Don't forget, this task list or this checklist can be found on Magister, and Mr. Van Rijn will and myself have put a link to that in Magister, so you can just look it up. Also, all these PowerPoints that you're seeing will also be available on Magister. And now my cat just walked into the lesson. Say hi, cat. Please leave me alone. Okay. So today, what are we going to be doing? We're going to be discovering what the deadlines are for this project, what causes do we want to make a campaign about, and we're going to really look at the global context in detail and what that means. Now, maybe you've heard of global context before and you didn't really understand it. Hopefully by the end of this lesson, you will understand that. Okay, you should have chosen a topic, a peer-related topic that could be anything, but it has to be something relevant for people of your age. And what I'd like you to do in your document straight away is to start off by saying why it's important, which topic have you chosen, why you think it's important to tell other people about this subject. It's not obvious to everybody, but say why you think more people should become aware about this. And what you can also do is back that up with research. So have a look online. Maybe you've chosen the subject of bullying. I'll give that as an example because we had a video about bullying in the first lesson. Take a look online to see what problems are caused by bullying. That's what I mean by justify your choice. Also, what do you want to achieve with your campaign? Do you want people to pick up a phone and complain? Do you want people to support other people? Do you want people to donate money to a certain awareness campaign? And explain this by giving an example. Okay, just to let you know what the deadlines are for this project, we have the inquiring and analysing deadline by the end of next week, 30th of March. Don't forget, don't fall behind. As soon as this lesson is finished, go and do the tasks, and then you won't have to do any catch-up. And you can see here, we're developing ideas as the 4th of May, creating the solution. Maybe we're back in school for that, and then we can go for evaluating. Who knows? Let's just see what happens. Okay, so the global context for this project is something called identities and relationships. And you can see that all that text there, who we are and inquiry, lots of information. What I want to do is try and explain how that works. We want to look at a certain subject and then look at how it affects different people. Now, you could even take the coronavirus. The coronavirus is something in the whole wide world, but people look at it in different ways. So if you're currently a restaurant owner, the main thing you're thinking about the coronavirus is that you're losing money. You have to shut down, you're losing money. You might not be able to pay for your house. You might not be able to pay for your next holiday, those types of things. So you have money worries. But maybe somebody else has an elderly parent or a grandparent. And so they're worried that when they think of the coronavirus, they think about how dangerous that could be for somebody they love or somebody they know. Now, a global context is a way of looking at things in a different way. And we're going to take your peer-related subject and we're going to see the different ways that you could look at it as well. So, how is it relevant? We're going to construct a research plan, and we're going to do research based on finding out what's our peer-related subject and what our global context is. Now, I took bullying as an example, and bullying, if I asked you to make a marketing campaign about bullying, there's lots of different ways you could look at that. Now, for example, what we're going to do is an exercise called right-minding. So I'm going to ask you to take a piece of paper and to put the subject that you chose in the middle of that paper. And then I'm going to ask you to come up with lots of different ways of looking at that subject. So if I look at bullying, Maybe if I'm from a different country or I was born from a different area of the world, I might look at bullying as a racial issue, something that people, I might have experienced racism in my life at some point. So when I say bullying to somebody from another country, they might straight away think of racism. However, if somebody has moved from a different country, even within Europe, and has come to Holland, for example, and has received abuse because of where they're from, they might look at that in a different way as well. Also, somebody else from the LGBT community, when they think of bullying, they might think of nasty homophobic names or genderphobic names. So everybody looks at this in a different way. And what I would like us to do is to take your peer-related issue and look at it in different ways. So right-minding, why is it called right-minding? Because we're getting you to draw something, and so we're using both sides of the brain, not just the writing and thinking, we're also using the creative side. So I'd like you to get an A3 or an A4 piece of paper, draw in the middle of the sheet what the subject is of your film or your marketing campaign, and then draw as many different things that are related to identities and relationships. And so try and think of 3, 4, 5 different things to do that. Now, why are we doing that? What you can do is combine those things. So if you, let's take a different example, your peer-related subject is going on your bike with headphones on. That could be quite dangerous. Now, you can look at it from the perspective of a parent. How can you educate your children to not do that? Or you can look at it from the perspective of the child. How can you make a campaign that gets the child to want to stop doing that? And using the results of your right-minding exercise, try and come up for a subject for your marketing campaign, explain why you chose it, and that should be your idea. So today's tasks, and again, this document can be found on Magister. There's a link to it as a handy checklist, so you can go through everything. You can just check what's in there. Also, the link to the PowerPoint should be in there. You can watch this video as many times as you like. I'm sure you want to listen to my voice all day. And if you have any questions, you can get a hold of us. We've now reached the end of the lesson again. Don't forget, for updates about this, like and subscribe, and anything else, you can just send us an email. Hope you're doing well, and see you next time. Bye now.